So here we have the Dragfear, and the Dragfear are able to pick up their own visage form as well. They can choose what they want to look like, which was like a little trick that the aspects also learned in order to deal with the mortals, and the Dragfear can do so as well. But they need to pick like what they want. And Emberthal doesn't feel quite ready to pick what they want to look like. So we're gonna help them out with their identity crisis.
What do you need?
I take it Chromie sent you.
Stay true.
It's Visage? No, it's Visage. Isn't it? Perhaps Cinderfresh is right. Still, if I'm gonna pick a Visage, I should at least give it some thoughts. I just do not fully understand the concept of Visage forms. I've heard that the Visage is supposed to be one's own expression of self. How does one discover what that is? Maybe some of the individuals here in Veldrak can hold the answers. Noble, I need you to gather some intel. I will remain here. Report back your findings when you're finished.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Okay. You need to figure out your Visage. I need to figure out information for you. Sure, why not?
We have slept long enough.
Hi, Taylin. This hair stuff is really fun. How did you find your truest self? How do I find myself? Truly, my Visage feels like my realest self. Odd, isn't it? When I first claimed my Visage form, I knew immediately. I'm just able to be me, not a soldier. I'm going to assume that it's supposed to be soldier, yeah? Unless they're like the ones that do like... Okay. Not a soldier, not a Dragfear, just Taylin. And this hairstyle thing? Oh, it's to die for. You could change it up whenever you want. Daily, even.
In unity, find strength.
And how did you find your truest self? I know my companion does not agree, but I find my Visage form inconvenient. Scales, teeth, wing and tail. I feel so exposed without them. I am a Dragfear. When I'm in Visage, I cannot reach anything. My truest self is who I am, who I always present. There are advantages to a Visage, but none could capture my elegance or ferocity.
Fair skies and
NPC is rapping the in-game barber, I know, right?
Lord Illidan knows the way.
How did you find your truest self? I am who I always was. My duty in life is to remain the same, to protect those that hold dear to me. As a means to an end, I embrace the fell. I sacrifice my eyes, my soul. I let demonic energies warp my very being. But Stalvan is still here. My family was not so understanding. They cannot see past the changes. In their eyes, their son passed long ago. They need not mourn. Can they not see that I did this for them?
If we do not meet again, die well.
I found myself an undead. I barely remember who I was in life. She seems like a different person now. This form is who I am now. I do not use the same name that I used while living. I've changed too much. I used to resent it. To be truthful, I still do. I long for my beating heart. I pine for the warmth of blood. I hated myself. Or at least, that's what I thought. I did not hate myself. I resented my inability to choose. That right was stolen from me. I still dream of who I could have been. However, I realized that holding on to what I could have been would only continue to stifle who I am. It would not be my life, but that of a stranger. The pack comes above all else. How did you find your truest self? The definition of self is forever changing. If you asked me who I was before this curse, I would have said a fierce protector of my people. I would have gone to any length to ensure that they were safe, and I went too far. Yet after hundreds of years of mindless animal instinct, the me that you see now is not the one that once existed. The years I have lost. I found myself through the lens of humility. A druid that no longer seeks to fight, but to teach future generations the danger of arrogance. Who am I now? A worgen and a teacher. I am Poe. I am Dragon Warrior. If I remember right, we checked this out during the PTR. This was one of the rare spawns you could find of Al Shara. And druids with the Scythe of Alone could bring them back. They were like one of the original druids that lost themselves into the ferocity of the worgen form. How did you find your truest self? I used to think that I was only my human form. How could I be myself as some hairy mongrel? I refused to call myself a worgen. I told myself that it was nothing but a curse I never chose. But I dreamed of hunting. I could smell the freshness of the forest breeze. I could no longer deny who I became. It was time for me to embrace it. I am Varden Cleric. I am a worgen. I did not choose this, but I do accept it. How did you find your truest self? It is a constant battle to find myself every day. Many new Rendorai are concerned about losing themselves when they first embrace the void. And indeed, it can be a difficult task to decipher your own thoughts from the shadows. I can no more separate myself from the void than a fish from water, but I no longer fear it. Yes, it has changed me, but when I look back on my former self, I see that the void was always present. I have changed very little. I view myself through the lens of my family. Xanda and I found Mova when she was an infant, abandoned and helpless. We were her only hope. Looking back before Mova, I had so many worries, so many meaningless and unimportant things that filled my days with stress. In motherhood, I have found serenity. Mova dwarfed all those worries, eclipsed all the stress. She taught me what is truly important to me. My truest self is my family. Have you ever met Kalecgos? I feel like you and Kalecgos would get along swimmingly. How did you find your truest self? I am a warrior and a scholar. These two identities need not be mutual exclusive. I enjoy dusty tomes just as much as bloodied skulls. I used to hide this from my comrades. I feared that they would not understand. This was not the case, however. My clan laughed at my hesitation, saying they knew all along about my secret reading hobby. What? Were you sneaking away from camp with your little books under your arms? Like, oh boy, hope nobody sees me. I'm gonna read me some books. Now, identity is something you choose. The sum of one's experiences you surround yourself with is defined by your preferences. Who taught you this lesson? Ohn'aahren, a warrior who loves to read. His clan is so close-minded that they would have ridiculed him for the pursuit of knowledge? No, he feared that he was going to be ridiculed, and they didn't. Perhaps he may base his identity off of something so minute, but I cannot. No, I must have explained it wrong, Emberthal. See, he feared that they were gonna ridicule him, but then he embraced what he was anyways, and then they were like, yeah, we already knew. No? I feel like I've done a poor job at this one. None of my interests are particularly divisive or unusual. If I lack that, do I lack the qualities necessary for a Visage form in the first place?
Serve with honor. We will find our fate.
I remain unsatisfied with these answers. It is fortunate that they know themselves, but I possess none of the qualities they espoused. I fear I am now more unsure than ever. Excuse me. Emberthal, wait! Hey, God, hello, where the fuck did you come from? Did somebody say family? Did somebody say motherhood? It is I, Kalecgos! Howdy, Hato. Howdy, Kalentex. Hello.
It's good to see you again.
Say family 3 times and Kalecgos shows up. Okay. Chromie came to me looking for a guidance about a Visage form, not unlike Emberthal is doing now. It was the first time I met Chromie, and she was a far cry from the confident, snappy gnome that you're familiar with. She agonized over the decision, asking many different dragons why they chose the Visage that they had. I told her the truth. I prefer to spend my time around mortals, and this form allows us to be peers, equals. Oh yeah, everybody is a hot mess of a magic wielder, Kalik. Your bicep proportions to the rest of the world, I am sure that you are like every common man. Sure you are. I must admit, it was not sure what anyone was expecting, but as uniquely Chromie, I think it suits her perfectly.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Emberthal is quite troubled. It reminds me of certain bronze dragon when she chose her Visage form. Not to worry, once Emberthal has returned, we shall throw a proper Visage Day celebration. The fireworks are to match the colors of the Dragonflight. Each enclave, the city grows special flowers. Oh yeah, get stuff to celebrate.
Come back soon.
Here to spa?
Emberthal seems worried, but I'm sure that she'll come back. And when she does, she will pick a Visage form. Chromie told us all about the celebration dragons used to have for Visage Day. So Kalecgos and I are gonna blow stuff up. Fireworks, mostly. We'll need some arcane residue to make them, though. Okie dokie.
You have your orders.
Okie dokie. I really like Kalecgo. So I kind of wish they would do Kalecgos better in the storyline. Because if you've read... Oh god, which one was it? Day of the Dragon? No, Night of the Dragon, I think. Like when he parties with Krasus. Pretty sure. Was that Kalecgo? Was it, I'm not trying to confuse Kalecgo. Oh no, I'm thinking about Ronin, I think. No, Kalecgos, because he was upset about Envina. No, I am thinking about Kalecgos. Like in the books, he's kind of cool. As well as magic is way more creative in the books than what you see in game. Like they'll make like weaponry shit out of it. I would love to be like a melee mage, like a big broad mage like Ronin. In the front line, being able to take hits and still be able to cast spells or weaponry and shit. Yeah, we well cool. I missed Ronin, man. They did Ronin dirty. All Ronin is known for now is citizens of Gul'dan. Raise your eyes to the sky and observe. Alkalon judged our planet unworthy, but we kicked the crap out of him, and we came together as a family. And now he's gone. He'll never be remembered for anything else. Spellblade boss from the Nighthold? Yeah. They can do some cool shit. Free time touch daisies. No, don't. Don't say family, he'll show up again. He'll teleport behind you. Can you imagine like a little toy that you can get and it's like a wishing shell where you can whisper family into it and Calicos will pop out? Yes, please. There are some hints. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've been hurt before, you know what I mean? I'm afraid to dream again. You can loot as well, right? Like we share tags? Yes, okay.
You call that a uniform?
These volatile elements make the perfect base for fireworks.
Let's get back to training.
Now we're talking.
Anything for an ally.
Good luck.
There you go.
Together,
There
we
should be
can achieve
sufficient.
anything.
I am proud to
5-hour-long
serve
council
others.
meeting? Hell yeah. I worry about Emberthal. Her mood has grown increasingly dark. By sticking to citizens of the city, she is looking for ways that she is similar to them, instead of what makes her unique. Perhaps a broader sample size is in order. She needs stories to guide her. There are many such individuals with stories to tell her in the Dragon Isles. Go and speak with them. Would that I could go myself, but the duties of skill commander never rest. What makes you who you are? Serving Mara has always been my most honored duty. Though I was built to serve this role, I have never found it to be uncomfortable or ill-fitting. I take pride in my service, all of Lady Mara's refty do. There's great comfort in knowing with certainty what one's purpose is there not? That is who I am. What makes you who you are? I've always been sure of myself. Ask Ishka, and he describes me as rash, bold, and impulsive. He's not wrong, but I think being with Ishka has balanced me out. We're more opposite than two dragon spawns can be, and yet I feel more complete with him by my side. Our difference highlights what makes us unique.
Aspects watch over you.
Now, what makes you who you are? That is quite the question. Pauses to think for a moment. Well, before I met Taru, I was even slower to act than I am now. I've always preferred to wait and see and take a measured approach. That hasn't changed, but Taru has helped me come out of my hesitant shell, so to speak. He respects who I am, but also compliments it. I am half of both of our whole. I devoted my life to the hunt, but the time has come for me to devote myself to another. I only hope that I'm a capable partner as I am a hunter. My clan's tradition dictates that I was to marry a master hunter, worthy of being on my side. From the moment I met Dawa, I knew that could not be the case. Tradition is important, yes. Being part of Clan Shikar is a big part of who I am, but it's not all of it. I instead chose to follow my heart, and I'm fortunate that Saren Khan saw that I was true.
Get some rest.
A large part of who I am stems from love for Narman. Oh yes, there was much grumbling and stamping of hooves on behalf of Elder Otkarel. It is true, we skipped many ceremonies and traditions, but our love was true, and we knew it was time. I'm grateful that our clans agree. What makes you who you are? Dryads and centaurs might look like they're similar, but we are very different. But who says opposites don't attract, huh? Many of my clans consider any time spent with a dryad as wasted. Better spent elsewhere. They say that there's no way a dryad can focus for long enough on anything that's not in the gardens. Maybe that is the case, but I'm still drawn to them. It's just my nature, I suppose. Many thanks for helping me out.
Farewell, then.
She smirks slyly. She seems rather pleased with the situation. I have a good feeling about this one. What makes you who you are? At some level, I've always known my path was to be an artist. I simply did not fit into the mold of Waywatcher. I'm much happier now that I've accepted it, instead of trying to force myself to be something I'm not. It is a strange sort of peace to finally stop fighting it, to accept that sometimes you must defy others' expectations of you. So, what makes you who you are, huh? Me not like other gnolls. Me first gnoll monarch. Other gnolls not make friends. Me like having friends. No, wasn't change. Yes, hello. I have done extensive research on what it means to be yourself. What it means to be
So nice to see you.
who you were always meant
Fair
to be.
skies and strong winds.
We get a personal tabard. Oh! You can make your own tabard. So in case that you're in a guild and your guild master refuses to make a tabard for the first 6 months, now you can make your own.
Look out for each other.
Everyone, after hearing these stories, I finally made my decision. How exciting! Oh, I can't wait to see it. I've decided not to choose a Visage at all. I do not need one. Noble, the stories you brought me weren't about finding yourself. They were about accepting yourself. This is who I am, and it is enough. Oh, Emberthal, I'm relieved to hear that. Does this mean the celebration off the table? Not if I have anything to do about it. Wow.
I always have time for you.
Wow, that's a super nifty tabard. And it's all yours to customize however you want. Okay.
Good luck on your next adventure.
Thank you.
Thank you for browsing.
Okay.
A pleasure doing business. Will that be all?
Neato. And we've chest. Voila. Perfect.